Before we start any presentation at Royal Roads, we also always acknowledge the land. So we are located on the traditional lands of the Cosepsum and the Lekwungen ancestors and families who've lived here for thousands of years. And this statement means that at RRU, we recognize the importance of Indigenous and non-Indigenous people's relationships, and we continue to learn and understand the history, present and future scopes of Indigenous peoples. So I know many of us are coming in remotely today, or we may be working from home. So I just want to take a moment to really acknowledge the lands that we're on, no matter where we're located today. Alrighty, and then for today, we are going to be digging into all things Royal Roads University with this information session. So my name is Christie Jones, and I'm an education advisor here at the university today, but I'm also joined by my co-host, Mark Dickinson.
Hi.
Perfect. And then we're also joined by some folks behind the scenes who you can't see, but will be helping us out in the chat box. So we have Andrea Torres Lopez, we have Yuhan Fan, and we also have Alana McConaughey, and we have Christine Wainberg, who will be joining us and helping answer all of your questions and troubleshoot any technology issues you're having. So feel free to reach out to them over the chat box. And now that we've introduced ourselves a little bit, we also do want to do a welcome from the president of Royal Roads University, Dr. Philip Steenkamp. So we have a message from him, and I'm just going to share my screen here. So hold tight for a moment.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Royal Roads University's first virtual open house. I should also say good evening or good afternoon to those of you joining us from across Canada and around the world. I'm Philip Steenkamp, President and Vice Chancellor of Royal Roads University. It is with much appreciation that I join you from the lands of the Cosapsum and Lekwungen ancestors and families here in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia. This place has a rich history, from the Indigenous families who have lived here for thousands of years, to the coal baron who left his colonial legacy here, to the military cadets who trained at the Royal Roads Military College before we became a public university 25 years ago. I'm so glad you're considering your future as part of ours. I'm standing here in front of beautiful Hatley Castle. If you've seen the Deadpool movies or the X-Men series, you might recognize it. But today is about showing you who we are in real life and what we can offer you beyond this Hollywood landmark. Investing in your education is a big decision, whether you're just starting your academic journey or returning to it as a mid-career professional. This decision might be especially daunting in these uncertain times. It takes tremendous courage to start something new, to put your career on hold, or to move across the world to pursue your dreams. I learned that if you moved through life with your head down, you would miss out on seeing life-changing opportunities. That instead, I had to move through life prepared to look up and step up. Today, I believe, is one of those opportunities. You might not meet Deadpool today, but you might meet someone who will change your life, or maybe you will change someone else's. So I encourage you to shake those virtual hands and be exactly yourself. That's the kind of courage that is at the core of everything we do and at the core of what our students and alumni do. Royal Roads stepped up with courage as leaders in online education 25 years ago. Long before anyone had even heard of Zoom, we were leaders in both on-campus and online learning. Royal Roads is a place where big ideas meet small class sizes, where you are on a first-name basis with your instructors, where professors learn alongside you, and where your classmate might be a CEO of a startup or a parent taking a chance on a new career. We offer a life-changing education. You can work toward creating sustainable peace at home and around the world. You can become a climate action leader for your workplace, or help to rejuvenate tourism and travel post-pandemic. We are here to start a conversation about your future. I encourage you to ask questions and continue talking to us throughout these sessions and beyond to see if we're the right fit for you. I hope to see you again on this beautiful campus or in our dynamic online classrooms. Have fun this week.
Perfect. So thank you so much to Dr. Philip Steenkamp for welcoming us this morning. And if we can move on to the next slide there, Mark. Perfect. So we've done all these introductions from ourselves, but we would love to get to know you as well. I see many of you have already been typing into the chat box to let us know where you're joining us from. But if you haven't yet, feel free to type away and let us know where you are located right now, what drew you to the session, what types of programs you might be interested in. Anything you feel like sharing, please feel free to add it in the chat box. And while you're doing that, I will continue to take us through our agenda. So we'll be going through the RRU experience today and what it's like to be a student with us, through our program offerings, the admissions and application process, and of course, question and conversation. So anytime you have a question, feel free to pop it in the chat box and we will monitor them. And then towards the end of the session, we'll be digging into more of a Q&A time where we can answer all of your questions that have come up along the way. So just looking at the chat box here, we have folks joining us from India, wonderful. We have people joining from Vancouver, BC, South America, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Jamaica, amazing. Wow, more South America, presently Mexico, Salt Spring Island, interested in the BA in Justice programs. Okay, that's fantastic, everybody. Thank you so much. We really do have an international crowd here today, which is amazing. All right, Mark, so if you head on to the next slide. So you may know that this is part of an open house week that we have with activities all throughout the week, but just to give you a little snapshot of what is coming up for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we are going to be learning all about the different services we offer at Royal Roads, what advising, how to apply for awards, tips for international applicants, and beyond. So feel free to pop in and out of any session that you like. It's all the same link to access all these different offerings. On to the next slide. So May 12th will be the day to explore all of our programs, from the School of Tourism and Hospitality to some of our graduate certificates, leading into tailor-made education and laddering, School of Business. So a whole day of sessions for you to learn about our programs. And then on the last day is going to be where you can experience our learning and get to listen in on some mock lectures and some different workshops and things like that, all led by our faculty members. Alrighty, so our location, we are based in Victoria, BC, in Colwood, actually. So if you aren't familiar with Vancouver Island, we have a population of around 750,000 people. And you can compare us similarly in size to somewhere like the Netherlands, for example. So Greater Victoria has a population of around 360,000 folks. And we are close to cities like Vancouver and Seattle. And some of the industries you might find in Victoria are advanced technology, tourism and hospitality, education. We're also one of the warmest places in Canada. It truly is a beautiful place. If you love getting outside and really soaking up the sunshine, this is a wonderful place for you to come and visit. And then some of our rankings here. So we were ranked top 10 friendliest cities in the world in 2018 and top 20 best small cities in the world in 2017. So we're really, really proud of this place that we get to call home. And digging into our place a little bit more. So we know it's a little bit hard to tell exactly and get a feel from the place from a map, but what I do want to point out here is how much green space we have on our campus. So we have over 500 acres of old growth forest. So if you do like hiking or anything like that, this is a wonderful place for you to visit. We're also right on the water, as you can see, and the view that you will see is out at the Olympic Mountain Range in the States. So it is really a stunning place to be located. And to zoom in a little bit more on what our campus looks like. So on the top left-hand corner, you will see Hatley Castle. So this was built in the early 1900s by the Dunsmuir family. They were a very well-known family in the area at the time. And since then, it's been used as a military college. 25 years ago, it was used, started as a university, and it is used as a working building today. On the top right-hand corner, we have the Japanese gardens. So right adjacent to the castle, we have a whole network of manicured gardens, and the Japanese gardens is just one of them, but we also have the Italian gardens, the rose gardens, a croquet lawn, so many different places for you to explore. And then on the bottom left-hand corner, that is another shot of a Esquimalt Lagoon. So that is what it looks like right down at the water at Royal Roads. The bottom right-hand screen there is just a bit of an ode to the fact that we have been doing online learning for over 25 years. So while when it is safe to do so, we do have some classes on campus. A lot of our programming is online, and this is something that we are very, very experienced in doing. And while we're on this slide, like I said, we have a lot of nature for you to explore. We have a lot of wildlife. Down by the water is a bird sanctuary, actually. So we wanted to ask a question about what kinds of birds do you think we have roaming around on the campus? So we posted a poll there. Let me just see. There we go. I believe it's live now. So if you want to play around with the poll here and input what kinds of animals you think you can see on our campus. Okay, wonderful. We have peacocks is the first option, parrots, turkeys, emus, and ostriches. Okay, we're getting a lot of replies for the peacocks, a few for the parrots though, and a few for the turkeys. Perfect, and I'm gonna close the poll in another 5 seconds or so. Okay. And the winner is peacocks, and you would be correct. They are a lively addition to our campus that you can see roaming about when you do get to come visit. And it's really an enjoyable part of being able to be on campus, in my opinion. Okay, and Mark, if we can head on to the next slide. Perfect. So a bit more about life on campus. So we have many buildings that you could see a little bit of in the last photo there. Many of them are historic buildings. A lot of them have been converted and renovated into brand new state-of-the-art buildings. So we have a library, for instance, that has a beautiful full view into the Japanese garden. So it's a really tranquil place to come and study, but also while having all the resources that you need. And as well, we have a brand new lab on campus located in our Sherman Gen building, and lots of really wonderful places for you to learn. We have outdoor classrooms as well, and we also use the places around our campus for learning opportunities, like doing labs and things like that, and field work right in our forests and by the water. Recreation. So we do have a rec center on campus where you can come and exercise, take some classes and things like that. But like I've mentioned a little bit before too, the whole campus is used for recreation. So feel free to use the trails to explore and anything like that. And then accommodation. So when it is safe to do so, we do have accommodation for when you come on campus for residencies. So that's a 1 week to 3 week time period where you can come and actually learn and then stay on campus as well. And it's quite affordable actually to be able to stay on campus, kind of in a dorm style type living arrangement. Food and drink. So we have Habitat Cafe on campus, which offers healthy and really great real food for you to eat while you're on campus, as well as coffee shops spread all throughout the campus. So no matter where you are, you're always close to somewhere where you can refuel on a study break or anything like that. And then safety and security. Victoria is a very, very safe place to live, and our campus is quite safe as well, but we do have 24/7 security to ensure that everybody feels safe while they're on campus with us. Okay, so why Explore RRU? So here are some of the things that really do set us apart as a university, in my opinion. So the top one here, we see life as a qualification. So this means that we look at who you are beyond just what your transcript says and the type of experience that you have brought from your life as a whole. So this obviously means things like your professional background, but as well as anything like volunteer, any different life experience, whether you've started a family or have had things like that, or whether you've traveled to really cool places, or any projects that you've worked on, conferences that you've volunteered at. Anything like that, we really like to take a look at who you are holistically and see that as a benefit to your application. The second one here is profs who know your name. So we provide a really personalized experience at Royal Roads, And we don't have that sort of large auditorium feel of our classrooms where you're just a number and you don't really get to know your professor at all. Anybody that you communicate with at the university, whether that's obviously your classmates, but also your professors, student services, financial aid, folks who help out in the program areas as well. It's always on a first names first basis. The third one on here, learning based on life. So we have what we call here scholar practitioners who teach you throughout your programs. So that means that anybody who is teaching you has very, very current either work and or research experience that they infuse throughout the curriculum. So this means that anything that you're learning in the classroom is going to be really applicable to what you're learning or the problems that we're facing in the world today, what you might need to address a gap in your career, anything like that is infused in what you're learning. Connections for life. So in many of our programs, we have what we call a cohort model. So that means that you start your program with a group of people, you learn with them throughout the whole process, and you end the program together. Some of our programs don't have this cohort model, but no matter if you're learning with the same group of people, or you're taking a mix of different classes, our courses are designed to create a bond between you and your classmates, even throughout an online learning sort of platform. We really do infuse this, and it creates a network that lasts far beyond when you take your degree and can be drawn on as a personal and professional network for years to come. And lastly on here, we were built differently. So it is quite unique that we are a national heritage site and also a place of innovation and a place of learning. And since our inception over 25 years ago, we decided to do things differently. We wanted to offer online people, no matter where you were in the world, no matter where you were with your family or your career, you would have educational options for you. So we're really proud that we've been able to be on the forefronts in this type of learning. Alrighty, and on to the different delivery models that we have at Royal Roads. So the first one here is on-campus delivery. Right now, all of our classes are taking place online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So we hope to get back on campus soon, but we do want to let you know that this is an option when we are able to come back on campus. And this is a great option for those who want to be full-time learners. Classes can be from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. So it's a very immersive experience where you get to come on campus and really be in this sort of location most days of the week. And then we have fully online delivery. So this is a great option for those who want to work at the same time. Again, so you can be working full-time, you can be living in any location and be able to take your classes online. And what this looks like is many different things. So we use Moodle as our platform for online learning, and you may have used this before at other institutions, but every school caters it a little bit differently. So it may look a little bit differently when you use it at Royal Roads, but I should mention that I'm an alumni of Royal Roads as well. And I'm very familiar with the learning tools and the online platforms that we offer. And if you can use Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, then you will not have a hard time at all using the platforms that we have at Royal Roads. And we also have a whole tech support team that is here to help you if you have any issues navigating the online platforms that we use. In an online class, you can be doing a lot of different things, like posting in a discussion forum and communicating with your classmates that way, doing reflective activities, real life assignments. Obviously, there's going to be some readings, team activities and assignments. So there is a large focus in many of our classes on teamwork and group projects, which is actually, can seem a little daunting at first, especially in an online environment, but it does actually work really well and lend well to the process, and many other things that contribute to the online learning experience. And then blended learning. So this is just what it sounds like. It's a blend between the online and the on-campus formats. So it's a mix of online learning, which can work really well for somebody who has a flexible schedule or needs to have a flexible schedule, 15 to 20 hours a week. And then it's also mixed in with on-campus learning. So these are where you come on campus for a residency and have that immersive on-campus feeling. Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So this can be from 1 week to 3 weeks, anywhere around there. And because of the pandemic, those have all been happening online as well. But eventually, when we do get to come back on campus, these will be happening on campus as well. And at this time, I'm just going to do another poll here about what kind of delivery model would interest you. Alrighty, so you should see it pop up on your screen now. So what delivery model would you be interested out of online, the blended that we went over, on campus, or not sure yet? And that is a very good answer as well. Okay, lots of options coming in for on campus today, some for blended, perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna give the poll another 5 seconds before we end it for today. Perfect. Okay, so many of you are interested in coming for the on-campus experience. That is wonderful. We do hope to be coming back on campus in September, but of course, we're really watching the public health guidelines closely, and we'll be keeping you all updated along the way with however that looks for all of our programs. Okay, so next here, our global network. So you create this awesome network while you're in your program, but it doesn't just end there once you graduate. We have an alumni network of almost 30,000 grads, and this is from 163 different countries. And we do have a platform called RRU Connect, which is used as a hub to really connect, as it suggests, with all of the different alumni within your network, within the community at Royal Roads at large, and really use this as a resource to keep networking, to make friends, anything like that. So it's a really wonderful to be a part of too. Alrighty, and with that, I'm going to pass it over to Mark Dickinson, who will take us through some of the program areas.
Thanks, Christy. Yes, at Royal Roads, we have programs in business, in communication culture, education and technology, environment and sustainability, and executive education, which we have several grad certificates and graduate diplomas, and I'll talk a bit more about those in a minute. We have our humanitarian studies, as well as our I always have trouble with this word, interdisciplinary studies. And this, if you're not familiar with it, gives the students the opportunity to pick courses from different programs at Royal Roads and put them together to really create a customized degree program. And we also have our School of Leadership Studies, and as well, we have our School of Tourism and Hospitality. I'm sorry, I'm having some computer issues. There we go. This is a partial list of our undergrad programs at Royal Roads. Our undergrad programs are years 3 and 4 of the degree. So students usually do their year 1 and 2 elsewhere, either a diploma program or they start a bachelor program at another institution and come to Royal Roads University to do year 3 and 4. And I would like to point out that on the screen, there's 3 programs: the Bachelor of Science in Environmental Science, the Bachelor of Arts in Professional Communications, and the Bachelor of Arts in Justice Studies that are offered in, they're actually offered in 2 formats. You can actually do the blended program, which is a 24-month program that, as Christy mentioned, you can still work from home full time. It's very flexible, or if you're raising a family, you can get your degree in the 24 months and just come to campus for the residencies. Or you can take there's a 12-month option as well, and it's an intensive offering of the on-campus. Try that again. It's a 12-month on-campus intensive offering where you come to campus and you do your years 3 and 4 in 12 months. So it's a great way to get your degree quickly, but it is intensive, and we don't recommend that students, if they're in one of those intensive programs, that they try and work full time while they're completing their degree. Our graduate certificate programs, as I mentioned, we have several, and this is just a partial list of the programs that we offer. And the graduate certificate programs are 3 courses from one of our graduate programs, our master's programs. They're between 4 and 9 months long, but most of them are 6 months in length. And these are a great way for you to not only get skills, but also really test the waters of the master's, your graduate degree. So you can, and I can speak to this personally because I just finished my grad certificate in project management. And one of the reasons I took the program was because I was very interested in the program, but I've been out of school for a long time and I wanted to see how I would be able to study at that graduate level. So I can now ladder that into a master's program. We have graduate diploma programs, and these are actually 6 courses from our graduate degrees. Again, this is just a partial list of the programs that we offer. And these, again, can be laddered into a master's program once you complete the graduate diploma. And so with the graduate certificate and the graduate diploma, if you want to ladder into a master's, you don't have to do it as soon as you complete the program. So you can take your program, take a little bit of time, and then ladder into that master's program of your choice when you're ready for it. Our master's programs at Royal Roads, this is again just a partial list. We have many more. And most of our master's programs are offered in the blended format that allows somebody to work full-time and get their master's degree. And again, they have the on-campus residencies. We have 2 doctoral programs at Royal Roads, the Doctor of Social Sciences, as well as the Doctor of Business Administration. There are other ways to learn at Royal Roads University through non-credit courses offered by our professional and continuing studies courses. And these are non-credit courses that you can take to develop skills for both personal and professional growth. We have custom and contract training. This is where we work with your organization or business, and we can deliver programs for things like customer service skills, communications, and leadership skills. We deliver that to your organization. We offer general studies, which is if you just want to take 1 or 2 courses from Royal Roads, these would be credit courses. You can take 1 or 2, and then again, you can ladder those into a degree program later down the road if you choose to, or even a graduate certificate or graduate diploma. And we have some short-term study options. For example, we have a 12-week business essentials for emerging global leaders program and a 4-week summer leadership program. Royal Roads, we want to not only ensure student success, but we want to make sure our students, we care about their well-being as well. So there's lots of support for students when they come to Royal Roads University. For examples, we have the International Student Services team. We have Indigenous Student Services team. We have team coaching. We have a great writing center if you need help writing. With your writing skills, as I did. So and these services are available to everybody. It's not online or on campus. There's lots of services available to you. Of course, financial planning should be part of everybody's education planning. And we have an amazing financial aid team who are willing to help you with things like navigating student loans and looking to see if there's resources available to you for funding through either scholarships or bursaries or other means. Our enrollment advisors are here to help you with your decision and with your planning. They can help you go into the in-depth information about the programs, just to make sure that we get you into a program that suits your background as well as your goals. They can help you with the application process as well. They can walk you through the standard and the flexible admission requirements needed to get into a program. And the flexible admission requirements is what Christie was talking about, where we look at an applicant holistically. So we're looking at not just your credentials, we're looking at your experiences that you've had in life as well. We have many transfer agreements that are with partner colleges all over Canada, as well as the rest of the world. And the transfer agreements with our partner colleges offer students a real smooth pathway into some of the programs we have at Royal Roads University. They can help you with further details on the campus and the student services that we offer. And as well, they can, our enrollment team can connect you with program area faculty and alumni. And connecting with alumni is a great way to really get a sense from somebody who's been through the program on what life was like as a Royal Roads student. So if you're ready to take that next step and come to Royal Roads University, I highly recommend that you talk to our Enrollment Advisor teams. We have our domestic teams that can be reached at learn.more@royalroads.ca, or the international teams that can be, international advisors that can be reached at learn.more.international@royalroads.ca. So thank you for joining us. We're ready to answer your questions that you may have. And I'm going to see what questions we have. Alrighty.
Hello.
Hi. So I'm sorry.
Yes,
I just we have somebody with their hand up. No. Okay. So the first question we have is interested.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi. Do you want me just to hold on? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to try typing, but if I can speak, it's easier.
Okay.
I'm from San Diego, California. Hello, everyone.
Beautiful.
Hi.
Obviously, I was interested in online, but then I heard that in September so does that mean if you start online, then you must attend campus when campus opens up? And for me, that would be a make it or break it deal because I'm in San Diego taking care of my mother and I couldn't leave immediately to come up. So if you start it, it must go to on campus once it opens, right? The campus opens up. The same program you're in, if you're in the middle of it, you immediately, or you wouldn't be in the middle of it, would you? Because September is when school starts.
If I can interrupt. So it depends on where the residency lies in the program. Sort of the normal is that the program will start and there's usually a residency kind of in the middle of the program. So it's a 2-year program. And then there's one close to the end of the program. And they're usually a week or two long.
Okay. Yeah. So I could come up and come back and go back
yes,
up.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. That's good to know. I didn't know that. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
Hi.
Hi there. Just before we get the question there, I just want to touch on another point that there was a few questions about like when we're coming back to campus and how all of that works. What we're hoping to do for now is come back for September, but of course we're watching the health guidelines really closely. So that's how it's looking for our fully online campuses or programs. And like Mark said, for those more online offerings, there may be shorter residencies and things like that. We're going to be finding unique solutions as we go for all of these, for all of our programs, and make sure all of our students feel comfortable with how that shapes up. And for questions that do want to be asked verbally as well, it may be handy if we use the raise your hand option. So you can actually find that by clicking on the reactions at the bottom. And then there's a raise your hand button, and then we can just make sure that we can see who's wanting to use that option.
Do we have Oyen? Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sorry if I got it wrong.
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone. I actually have a question about your blended graduate programs. I am in Canada, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and I'm interested in one of your blended programs for graduate programs. I think the professional communications, one of the communications graduate programs anyway. And I tried to check online, but it doesn't exactly say how long I have to be on campus for the on-campus part of the program. And within what date period it is, because I am working full-time, and if I want to apply for the program, I would want to know what period I need to be on campus, for how long would that be? Is there availability of accommodation, or do I have to sort that out myself? And just things like that.
Sure. So I'm not sure off the top of my head what but I believe they are 1 or 2 week residencies, but there's 2 of them in the professional communications. And if you're interested, we can, if you reach out to one of our enrollment advisors, they can send you the schedule ahead of time, so you can see if that's going to, if the time is going to work out for you. For on-campus accommodation, as Christie mentioned, we have temporary accommodations for people that come to campus when they're coming for their residencies. Can't remember what the price is per night, but it's very affordable, and you can stay right on campus. And you don't have to, but it's advised that if you are taking part in one of the residencies, and if we are back on campus, that you stay with the rest of the cohort, because there's a lot of learning. The learning, or the class times are like 8 to 4:30, but there's a lot of work that you do in the evenings too. There's group projects, and you know, you want to work with your cohort. So students that quite often when they come to a residency and they stay off campus, they always say they wish they'd stayed on campus for it. So so that answered your question.
Yes, perfectly.
Okay, great. Jacqueline, I think you have the next question.
And just a note, I believe we have about 3 minutes left until we're heading into our next presentation all about our campus and our regions. So I think perhaps if we can make this one, we'll see how it goes, but we'll start with this question. We may be able to take one more after that before transitioning into the next one.
Hello.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
I'm kindly requesting to keep my video off just to keep my bandwidth available, but I'm calling in from Nairobi in Kenya, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you very much, Mark and Christie, for your presentations. My question is around appointing a proxy to follow up on my behalf, and what is that allowed? And you know, what kind of requirements would I need? Would I need to where would I start? Maybe that's what I wanted to ask.
So I'm not I'm not sure if I fully understand your question. Are you talking if you apply and you for one of our programs and have somebody else have access to your application?
Yes.
Well, you can, if you apply, you have access to your application. You'll get a student number, and you can go online to check the status of your application. So if you want to give that information to a family member, they can have that access for you.
Oh, okay.
And I think as well, if you do want to connect with our international enrollment team, they may be able to help you navigate that process a little bit more as well. I believe they pop their email and address in the chat box, but they'll be able to give you a more in-depth conversation on that one.
Okay, thank you. Actually, Christine, I think, has sent me an email address that I could use. So thank you. I think that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, and actually, I see in the chat box, Alana has said that you can fill out a form that allows another person to be able to access your application, as well as Christine has said that too. So I hope that helps.
Okay, thank you very much.
And I see we're just about nearing the end of our time here today. I know Gourmet did have a question as well. So Gourmet, perhaps if you want to ask the last question of this session for today and unmute there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good evening, rather I say good morning. I am from India. I'm doing, I'm pursuing Masters in Disaster Management in India. And it's my final semester, and it's going to end by July. I want to inquire about the PhD program in disaster and emergency planning or management from your university. Is this course is available with you, and the requirement for the same? Can you please tell me?
So for that program, it may be best if we can really get into a more in-depth conversation about that. But for that specific program, if you do want to reach out to our team, I think that would be the best way to go for looking at the time for this time. But I'm really excited that you are looking into that program and taking it. And so sorry that we don't have more time to dig into the specifics about the
Can you connect me with the team whenever it is possible for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So their email is just posted in the chat box there, but one of our team members can also send you a direct message as well, and we can get your email too, and then we can connect with you afterwards.
Well, let me send you my email ID on chat box. Thanks a lot.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a lot.
much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, perfect. So Mark, any other final thoughts or words on your end before we pass it over to the next session?
No, it's great. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of questions that we just couldn't get to today. So I apologize for that. The time went by too fast, but everybody's going to get a recording of today's session, and you'll get the email addresses and the contact information you need. So again, I apologize that we didn't get to everybody's questions, but please connect with us so we can answer those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to reach out and we can continue the conversation afterwards as well.